Refocus Gang, and welcome back to another episode of Refocus on You. I greatly appreciate you guys watching. I'm so grateful for all the support. Make sure that you are liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with all your family and friends on every social media timeline there is. Make sure that you are sending this out so that people can be helped and healed, and we can live our lives to our fullest potential. Today we will be talking about the healing part of daddy issues. So we are going to conclude the series. I do want to say I recorded this video with the ending last week, so my outfit will look the same. But it would have made last week's video too long. So this is going to be the healing portion of the video. My interviews, a lot of the stuff I seen was, I just wish she was here. I wish she had made me feel more important. I never felt like he loved me. One of the things that kind of shook my core was someone said, well, my father said he never wanted kids anyway. And I've heard that so many times. Like, even from people in my life. Like, well, I never wanted kids. So what? They here. You never wanted kids, but you did what it takes to have a child. So, they're here. Parents, mother, father, never, ever come out your mouth and say, I never wanted kids anyway. What? How would you tell your child that? Like, that's just not something that you tell your children. I feel like once they're here, they're here. Ain't no, I didn't want you. You here, boo. And you can't have multiple children and say you didn't want children, because maybe the first time you like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't even want this. I got it. I got to cut this all the way off. But if you had multiple kids, you know what it takes to get kids. So you wanted kids because you were still doing what it took to get them without no form of protection or even trying to prevent it. Like, it's a lot of ways men can prevent having babies. Like, y'all can get it snipped and be done with. So for you to say you don't want kids and have multiple kids, I don't get that at all. And that's something that you should probably apologize for, because even if that's your truth, behind that should probably be, but you were the best thing that happened to me. Or at least, but you are here now, so I'm going to do what I got to do to make sure you are taken care of. Because if you tell me you didn't want me and you don't show me that you want me, do you know the type of issues that's going to cause me? Like, if daddy don't love me, nobody else can love me. The person who brought me here didn't even want me. It's impossible for you to tell me you want me. Another thing I heard a lot of is the kids mostly stay with mama. And daddy goes off, and most of the time daddy is going to create a whole nother family. But daddy, don't create a whole nother family and forget about the one you already created. It's very important that you still show that you are available and you are able to be there for your child, even in the absence of being in the home. Your children want to feel just as important as you want to feel. And because you separate or you divorce or you leave their mother, you can't leave the child too. Your child still deserves phone calls every day. Your child still deserves a respectable schedule that you're going to get me. Don't lie to me and say you're coming and then you don't come. That breaks a child into so many pieces. It's hard to heal from, that's going to stem to abandonment, and it's hard to heal from those abandonment issues. You have to make sure that you are there for your kids. Make sure you're keeping your word, because in reality, your word is all you have. And if I can't trust your word, I can't trust you. You're not dependable. So make sure that you are spending time with these kids. Fathers are so important. Fathers are just as important as mothers. And you can tell a relationship with a father that's been there, and you can also tell a relationship with the father that has not been there. Now, I'm also going to speak on mamas making it hard for fathers, because you do have some good fathers that they just prefer not to deal with your mother. And we're going to speak on that as well. But all in all, your kids want you to fight for them. No matter what. No matter how hard it is to maybe deal with mama, or to maybe see me. Fight for me. Show me that you did all you can do in order to be my father, so I feel like you care. The most important thing about healing to remember is, no, it is not your fault. But we can't change none of these situations. We can't change that daddy wasn't there on time. We can't change that he lied to us. We can't change that he wasn't there at all. But what we can do is fix ourselves. It's important to know that it's no one else's job to heal you. That's your job. That good old pretty person, handsome person in the mirror, that's your job. And you got to make sure that you try and heal, like I said, before kids, or before the husband, before the wife, before the girlfriend, before the boyfriend. Because, yeah, they add to it, and they're going to possibly help you heal. They can possibly point out some things that maybe we have some issues in this area. But you have to be on a healing journey yourself to even accept that type of criticism, or to accept the fact that, maybe they're right. I do got some daddy issues. I do got some mommy issues. I do got trust issues. I am a people pleaser. I am kind of clingy. I am a jealous person. Like, you have to be able to point those things out so you'll know that they need to be healed and dealt with. All right. So, secret. Daddy cannot give you anything that you were not already equipped with. So, no, he might have not have been there, but guess what, Suge? You were already equipped to deal with that. The things that happen in your life all happen for a reason. Daddy not being there might be your calling. Like, sometimes we want stuff so bad, like, oh, well, I've missed this part, or I've lacked this part, not realizing, baby, that's your story. We gonna get you healed so you can tell your story and help the next little girl heal, or the next little boy heal, or so you can raise your children a totally opposite way. Daddy cannot give you nothing that you were not already equipped with. So now you can take that and heal yourself. That's why I say, the love that you want, love yourself. The respect that you want, respect yourself. The affirmness that you need, affirm yourself. If nobody never told you were beautiful, write on your bathroom mirror, girl, you killing them. Every morning before you walk out that door, look in the mirror and say, girl, you killing them. I'm telling you, that self-esteem will start boosting up. You have to speak those positive things over your life. If you need somebody to tell you I love you every day, tell yourself you love yourself every day. Or call a sibling. I love you. I'm sure they're going to say it back. Call your mama. I love you. I'm sure she's going to say it back. If you need that type of affirmness, you have to make sure that you are finding it to give to yourself so that you can heal. You have to make sure that you also know your issues. Like, with the provocative talk thing, a lot of people don't realize that's an issue. Especially if you were physically touched in the wrong way that's an issue. And sometimes it can just be attention seeking because you are lacking male attention and you feel like that gets male attention. A lot of people don't realize that that is an issue, but that's an issue. And you have to make sure that you deal with that issue so that you don't pass it off to your kids. Because I guarantee you, if you hear your daughter say some of the stuff that you say, you'll be like, girl, I'm about to knock your whole head off. But you can't because she hear you say it. And children do what they see you do. They model you. If you ever wonder where they got it from somebody that they are around. And if it's constantly you, it's probably you. So you have the power to build your own confidence. So like I said, if you need affirmation, affirm yourself. Write you a list of affirmations to say every day until you get it in your soul, your spirit, your mind, your heart, until you feel like, you know what, I'm it. I'm it, sis. And if you don't know it, that's your problem. You have the power to big yourself up. You have the power to build your confidence up. For real. You really do. You just have to put it in your mind. Say it with your mouth. Put it in your mind. Dr. Anita always say that when your mind starts thinking negative, start saying positive things with your mouth. Your mind and your mouth have to align. If you sit there right now and try to say something and think something different, eventually they're going to combine. Either you're going to start thinking what you're saying or you're going to start saying what you think. So therefore, out-talk your mind. So if your mind, I do it. If I get in a funk or I start thinking negative, I'll start saying, oh, Rakim, we're not going to do this today. We're not going down this road today. We're going to think of something positive. We're grateful for everything that's going on. And I start listing the things that I am grateful for. And that changed. Like I forget all about the negative stuff that I was thinking about. So it works. You have to allow the pain to break through. You have to realize this is an issue. And this is where it stems from. Like in order to heal, you have to go back to where it started. And that can be hard, but you really have to go back to where it started and see, like, is this where I began to do this? Or is this why I feel like this? And you have to heal from that point. You have to know the root. It's like a snake. You got to cut off the head. You got to cut off the head of that issue in order to dissolve it. In order to begin to heal from it. In order to know this is where it came from, because it'll trigger you. Like the smallest things will trigger that to pop right back up in your life. Write down your feelings. Write down a journal. Even if you got to get a book and start writing letters every time you feel like something is bothering you, do that. If you have certain stuff you want to tell your father that maybe you don't feel like it would be respectable or he would even hear it, write it down. Start writing it down in the journal. Write your feelings down. When you write it down, you express yourself, you get it out, and you release it. I actually write stuff down and I burn it to signify that it's dead to me. So, and it works. Like I've released a lot because I write it down and I burn it. And it's like, it's dead. Once you burn something, it can't come back. You have to make sure you give yourself that love and support for real that you wish that any type of parental figure would have given you. You have to make sure that you are striving to give yourself that. And you have to make sure when someone else is trying to give it to you that you don't neglect it. Some of us mess up our relationship simply because we wasn't given things. So when someone starts to do it for us, we'll tear it apart. We'll demise it. And we don't even realize it until we've already done it and we're messed up. So make sure that you are expressing that love and care that you need to yourself so that when someone else does it, it doesn't seem strange and you can accept that type of love. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is key. Make sure you forgive them. Forgive them for you. Even if you never get the apology that you feel like you deserve, you have to make sure that you forgive them, let it go, because 9 times out of 10, you're walking around with some issues that they don't even care about. So make sure that you forgive them. Just let it go. Write it down. Let it go. I'm releasing this from me. You no longer have control over my life. Get to the root, release it, forgive them, heal, and move on. Remember, I said that you are equipped with everything that your Father was supposed to give you. Think about this. During the coronavirus lockdown, the earth, nature, began to heal itself. Like, California started seeing mountains. The water started looking purer. The sky started looking purer. We did nothing but sit still, and the earth began to heal itself. So think about that. If God thought so much of the earth that he created the earth to heal itself, flowers die and grow back itself. Like, you don't have to do nothing to the flower. It'll just grow back. Think about that. Why wouldn't he equip you to be able to heal yourself and guide yourself and renew yourself? Anything that you need, if you search deep down inside, it's in yourself. You have to just go deep diving and find it. Just like a scientist jump in the ocean and say, let's see what we find. You have to dive deep into your heart, your spirit, and figure out what it is that you need to find. What can I learn new about myself today? A lot of times the stuff that we go looking for, we already have. We just have to find it. Find your true you. You're not that foul-mouthed little girl or foul-mouthed little boy that you think you are. No, you're not. You're actually kind. You're actually kind of timid. You're actually kind of reserved. That's not you. You're doing that because you're just trying to gain some type of attention. But the attention that you're craving, you can give to yourself. Until you love yourself, until you can be attentive to yourself, until you can respect yourself, until you can give yourself everything that you're requiring from somebody else, you cannot impossibly accept it from someone else all the way, fully. You cannot understand it coming from somebody else because you don't understand it coming from you. So make sure that you are healing these issues. You can heal yourself. It all starts in your mind. Heal yourself. Point out those little issues that you feel like, wait a minute, this is wrong. This is not right. Some of the stuff that we do, we wouldn't even tolerate from other people, but we do it. Like, some of the stuff that you can't stand in a person, 9 times out of 10 is something that is in you. And when you see it in them, you also recognize it in you. And it's kind of like a mirror. You hate that. You hate that. Like, you ever had somebody, I don't know why I just don't like her. Because that's you, sis. That's you, bruh. They act just like you. That's why you don't like them. But you can't point it out in yourself because you refuse to dig deep. This week, I want you to find the issue. Find the issue, dig deep down inside of you, and I want you to try and find the root of that issue. Where it all stem from. Did it stem from falling off a bike? Did it stem from daddy not being there? Did it stem from mommy not being there? Did it stem from the lack of love in your house? Find an issue, and I want you to start working on it. One of the issues that I had to deal with was, when I love you, I love you. I love you hard. But when I don't love you, or when you do something that I feel like is a deal breaker, I can act like I never knew you a day in my life. And that's the issue. It's no way that I should be able to love a person to the fullest extent this day, and tomorrow walk past them like I never knew them. And I'm laughing, but it's really not funny. Like, I have that issue. Like, I can cut you off like I never knew you a day in my life. And that's an issue. Like, that's a problem. And I didn't really realize it was a problem until I had a child. And it was like, you can't do people like that. Like, you can't just cut people off with no explanation, no nothing. Like, they at least deserve an explanation. And there's no way that you fully love no one and you're able to just cut them off. But like, find an issue, work on it, write it down, and we're gonna start healing from everything. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys have a happy Sunday. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Be blessed. Like I always say, if you can dream it, you can do it. Have a good one. Bye.